Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We will continue our discussion about SPSS. In this presentation, I will cover the multiple regression and the correlation in SPSS. The main objective is the implementation. One particular case will be discussed in this presentation, and that is basically the prediction of job satisfaction of employees. This complete case will be analyzed and implemented in SPSS. Briefly describe the relationship among the two variables is the correlation, and the relationship is formalized and materialized with the help of a mathematical equation is known as regression model. In the regression model, if we have one dependent variable and one independent variable, we call it as a simple model. In case if we have more than one predictor or more than one independent variable, we call it as a multiple regression. Both cases, either simple or multiple, can have a linear form or it may have a non-linear form. Simplest linear form is y is equal to b naught plus b1x plus error. This is the simplest linear form. And the simplest non-linear form is we have a quadratic model like this. Y is equal to b naught plus b1x plus b2x square. b2x square plus error. This is called quadratic simple model. Both model are simple because we have one predictor here which is x. Here we have one predictor which is x. So if we have one predictor, then the model is known as simple. If we have more than one predictor, we call it as a multiple model or the multiple regression model. This is a generalized linear model. In this generalized linear model, the first predictor is x1, second predictor is x2, and the xk is the kth predictors. So we have k predictors and one response variable or the predicting variable. This is y. This is the error term, and betas are the model parameters. Beta naught, beta 1, beta 2, beta k. These are known as model parameters, and these parameters can be estimated with the help of estimation procedures. One of them is method of least square for estimating these parameters. Our objective in model fitting is to estimate these betas. Betas are unknown. We have to estimate the values of these betas. This process is known as fitting of the model or learning the model. Error term is the last we have. It has certain assumptions like error must be normally distributed with zero mean and the common variance sigma square. These are the assumptions. This model can also be summarized in the form of sigma summation of beta I, xi, I varies from 1 to k, beta naught, and error. This is the simplified version in the form of sigma of this model. Here the terms are explained. Dependent variable, also known as response variable or predicting variable. Xi's are the independent variable. Here are the two xi's. One is x1, other is x2. So we call it as a multiple model. In this multiple model, we have two predictors, x1 and x2. Error term, the only random component in the model. Error term having a normal distribution with the zero mean and the common variance sigma square. Beta naught, beta 1, beta 2 are the model parameters, and model parameters are estimated with the help of method of least square. So this is the complete description of this model. Sum of square SSEs, SSE stands for sum of square of error. Errors have to be squared and then a sum over that. This is the equation which is minimized with respect to the betas, so that we can add the estimates of these betas. Now estimates are what? Estimates beta naught, beta 1 and beta 2. These estimates are to be obtained with the help of the sample data. If we have the sample data, by the sample data, we have to apply the method of least square. With the help of method of least square, the model parameters will be estimated. Different term which are used for the statistical modeling is entire data set is split into two segments. One is known as the training data set, other is known as testing data set. In the training data set, 80% of the data will be used as a training data set, and the remaining 20% of the data will be used as a testing data set. These two splits must be done with the help of random sampling. Randomly 80% cases and 80% of the data will be separate out and will be stored in a separate file named as training data set. And the remaining 20% will be separate out in a separate file and named as testing data set. Model fitting will be performed with the help of training data set. After model training or after model fitting, our model testing procedure will be done with the help of the testing data set. And model prediction will be done with the help of the unknown data, new data or unknown data. Unknown data is what? Unknown data is the data in which the values of the predictors are given, but the value of the response variable is unknown. So that is why we call it as unknown data. Unknown data is used for the prediction purpose. Model learning is the process of finding or estimating the model parameters. This is the very important steps in statistical modeling to find out the values of betas. So the values of betas can be determined with the help of method of least square. Method of least square is a technique which is used to estimate these parameters, and so on. We may have the k number of parameters, beta k. Our model may be linear or non-linear, as explained in the previous slide. Data cleaning is one of the important tasks. Before splitting the data into training set and testing set, we must have to clean the data. Data cleaning means there will be no outliers in the data. If there are some outliers, we have to remove them. There must be all cases. The data must be in all cases. If we have the missing data, then we have to either impute the missing data or we have to eliminate the missing data. Either option we can use. Imputation means we can predict the missing numbers with the help of some techniques. So predicting the missing data with the help of some technique is known as imputation. Imputation is a term which is used for predicting unknown cases. Model parameters are betas are known as model parameters. And model learning and in model fitting, our objective is to estimate these model parameters. This is the general discussion about the statistical model. Now we have a complete case of which is implemented in the SPSS, and model is to be learned with the help of a data set. What data set I am using here is predicting the job performance. The job performance we have to predict. The performance of employee is our dependent variable. This is our dependent variable. And we have a predictor, three predictors we have. One predictor is IQ of the employee, the motivation, and the last predictor is amount of social support. These three predictors are here, and job performance is a predicting variable or a dependent variable. Intuitively, we have a high IQ, high motivation, and high support. There is a possibility that a better job performance. And the small values of these three predictors may give us a low values of the job performance. This is by perception we can have. It means job performance is basically depend upon the motivation of the employee, the social support, and intelligence of the employee. If the employee is intelligent, then there is a high possibility his performance will be good. These are three predictors, and this is response dependent variable, and these are independent variables, IVs. In the data file, we have these four variables we have. First variable is performance, number one. Second variable is IQ. Third variable is motivation, MOT. SOC is the social support. These four variables are here, and these four variables are in the file which is named as SAV file. SAV extension is the extension of the SPSS data file. So I'm just going to load the data into the SPSS and implement some regression procedure in that. The data is loaded into the SPSS. First variable is name of the employee, is a string variable. The width of this variable is 9, and the measurement scale is nominal. Performance, outcome of job, it is a numeric variable, the scale of measurement scale. IQ, motivation, and social support are the other three variables which are referred to as predictors. These variables are basically performance, IQ, and motivation. These are the three variables. IQ, motivation, and social. These three are the predictors, and performance is a predicting variable. Regarding the scores on these sets, test 1, 3, and 4 have a score ranging from 0 to 100. It is measured on the Likert scale from 0 to 100. And the one variable which is IQ variable, and it is measured from 70 to 130. So these are the different measurement scales on which these four variables are recorded. In the data view, the first step is to find out the descriptive measures, the descriptive and explore. because all the variables are the quantitative variable, and we want to find out the descriptive measures of these scores. Select all of these variables in the dependent list, and we do not have any factor variable which is to be attached with this analysis. In statistics, we have to check the descriptive measures. In the plot segment, stem and leaf is there. I am constructing the histogram instead of the stem and leaf. And then press OK. These are the results. Case processing summary indicates that all the 4 variables have 60 observations. It means there is no missing number. So missing numbers are not there, which is the indication that no data cleaning is required. All the cases are given here. Second step is the descriptive analysis. In this descriptive analysis, the mean of each variable is given, and the standard deviation, which is a sample standard deviation, we can indicate this by S, and we can indicate this by X bar, because these 2 values comes from the sample, and these are the sample sizes. On the average, the outcomes of job performance test is 78. So 0 to 100, the performance is measured, and the mean is 78. And IQ test, as I told you, IQ is in the range of 70 up to 130. The mean score is 106. Similarly, the mean of the motivation is 67 approximately, and the social support having a mean of 67.72. And these are the standard deviation. The highest standard deviation we have in the IQ score, which is 14.3. Other than this standard deviation, the minimum standard deviation is in the job performance test. This have a smallest standard deviation. So these are the descriptive measures. There is no indication of extreme numbers in the data. Now the second step is to obtain the graph and the correlation. Correlation can directly be computed by moving to analyze, correlate, and bivariate. These are the 3 steps. Click on the analyze, then in the sub option correlate, bivariate. And from this list, you have to select all of the variables, because all the 4 variables are to be selected, and we want to find out the relationship among, if you need the mean and the cross product, you can also check them. Covariance and cross product deviations are to be calculated. If you check them, then covariance and the mean and standard deviation will also be represented. I am unchecked that. I am interested only in correlations. This is the correlation table. In this correlation table, you can see the Pearson correlation. The values of the Pearson correlation, 0.4. It is the correlation between the outcome of job and the IQ test. IQ test and the performance test. These 2 have a 0.47 is a positive. All the correlations are positive. That is an indication that the high motivation gives us a better performance. The high social support will give us a better performance, and the high IQ score will also give the better performance. That is an indication of the all positive correlation. But the strongest correlation is 0.635. This is indication that outcome of job motivation or the motivation score, high motivation score will give us a very better job performance. This is the strongest correlation among the rest of them. One correlation is negative here, and that correlation is not the correlation between the dependent and the independent variable. This is the correlation between the social support, and IQ test. It is very slightly negative related correlation. Slightly negative, we can assume that this is more or less isolated or independent variable. So there are the two types of two groups of correlation. One group of correlation is the correlation between the independent variable and the dependent variable. This is the one group of correlation. Another group of correlation is from the correlation among the independent variable and independent variable. Like this one. Which one? This is 0.9. This 0.9 comes under the heading A, and this comes under the heading B. This comes under the heading B. This comes under the heading B, because these three are the predictors and this is the response. So this is the correlation between the dependent variable, first independent variable, dependent variable, and second independent variable, dependent variable, and third independent variable. So these correlations should be high. And the correlation between the independent and independent should be small. This is the recommendation. These correlations should be small and these correlations should be high. If this correlation is high, the model will be will give us a better prediction. If this correlation will be high, this will be an error in the regression model, and that error is referred to as multicollinearity. So multicollinearity, there should be no multicollinearity in the data. So these correlations should be small and these correlations should be high. These are the recommendations. What other correlations are indicating in this table? This correlation is 0.72, is a high correlation. It is in between the IQ and the motivation. This comes under the heading A. And this is the correlation 0.63, which comes as a social support and job motivation. Still, this is positive correlation here. And this matrix is a diagonal matrix. In the diagonal, we have all 1. 1 is indication of correlation is 1. Why the correlation is 1? Because it is the correlation between the job performance and the job performance. The correlation between the job performance and the job performance is 1. This is the correlation between the IQ test and IQ test. So this is 1. This is the correlation between the motivation and motivation. Both variables are same. And upper triangular matrix, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 correlations. In the lower triangular matrix, again, we have the 6 correlation, which are the replica of the upper triangular matrix. 0.47, here we have 0.6, one of the important characteristic is RXY is same as RYX. That is why these 6 correlations are exactly identical with these 6 correlations. The strong correlation between the independent and dependent will give us a better model, and we can predict the dependent variable accurately. And the high correlation among the independent and dependent will give us an error in the model, and we should have to remove such variable which plays a very high correlation among the 2 independent variable. We have to keep 1 independent variable out of them. This is the scatter plot. How the scatter plot are constructed? A scatter plot can be constructed, move to the graph, legacy dialog, and scatter plot. These 3 options are to be clicked. Here we have a simple scatter as well as a matrix scatter. The matrix scatter I will prefer here because I have to construct the scatter plot among the 4 variables. So we have to pick these 4 variables, which are scaled variables. And Just click OK. We have this matrix. This matrix is indicating that all the correlations are positive correlation. We can see that these are the positive, here are the positive correlation, these are the positive, and so on. This is not too nice because it's about zero correlation. It is a good correlation, it is a good correlation, and so on. Some correlation are good, but some are not. That like this is becoming a zero. Okay, scatter plot will give us a clear-cut idea whether the linear or non-linear. So it is an indication that all the graph in which we have a correlation is an indication that these correlations are the linear correlation. That is why we prefer to implement a linear. Then finally, the regression model is to be implemented. And the option in the menu are analyze, regression, linear. These three options are to be clicked. We have to pick the dependent variable in the first box. Job performance test is the dependent variable, and the rest of the three variables are our predictors. All the three independent variables are taken to the independent variable list, and one dependent variable is to be taken in the DV list. In the statistics segment, we have estimates. What estimates? These are the estimates of beta. As I told you, our objective is to estimate the parameter beta. So these are actually the procedure of estimation. The SPSS will directly implement in background the method of least square for estimating the betas. And then I will click on the OK. The outputs will be shown. These are the outputs. Outputs of beta are here. These are the betas. How many betas we have? This is known as estimate of beta naught. This is beta naught. And this is the estimate of beta naught. I will represent this by B naught. So B naught is what? B naught is an estimate, and beta naught is what? Is a parameter. So beta naught, the value of estimate of beta naught is 18.131. And this is the estimate of beta 1. Estimate of beta 1 is 0.26. And estimate of beta 2 is 0.308. And finally, the estimate of beta 3 is 0.164. These are the values of the betas, or we can call it as estimated parameters. This is the process of model learning. Now the model is learned, and we have to build the model by using these coefficients. With these coefficients, we have the sig values here. In the last lecture, I explained that sig values are basically the p-values. The p-values, if p-value is less than 0.05, we have to reject the null hypothesis. If p-value is greater than 0.05, we have to accept the null hypothesis. So all of the null hypotheses are rejected. What these null hypotheses are? Significant beta naught we have. We have a significant beta 1, we have a significant beta 2. Significant means these values are significant. We should have to keep them into the model. If sum of the value of probability is more than 0.05, then that is an indication that that specific beta will be insignificant. We can ignore the insignificant betas from the model. And we should have to keep all the significant betas into the model. In this output, all the betas are significant because all the p-values are smaller than 0.05. So we have to build the model with the help of these coefficients. These coefficients are represented here. Coefficient, these are the slopes, and this is the intercept. Slope with the motivation, job performance and motivation, the slope between the two variables is 0.31. The slope between the social support and the job performance is 0.16, and the slope of the intelligence and the job performance is 0.27. And this is the only constant which is known as intercept, y-intercept. This is basically the y-intercept. Y-intercept in the model. These are the slope, first slope, second slope, third slope. And the model is written, how the model is written? Model is written, the predicting variable, which is y, is equal to 0.31 times motivation plus 0.16 times social support plus 0.27 time intelligence plus beta naught. Beta naught is written in the last, but initially I wrote the beta naught as a first term of the model because it is a positive value and we can write down either in the as a first term or as the last term. So this is the summary of this model. And the model can also be written as y cap is equal to 18.1, which is the value of beta naught plus 0.31 times motivation MOT plus 0.16 times social support plus 0.27 times intelligence. This is the model. And all the betas are significant. We should have to keep. Where is the error? In the estimated model, the error will be eliminated because the sum of error will be 0 and the standard deviation of error will be least. So that is why whenever we are writing the estimated model, in the estimated model, the error will be eliminated. Finally, we have a conclusion that this model can be used as a prediction of y cap or the prediction of job performance. One output is remaining and that output is the output of R square or adjusted R square. The value of adjusted R square is 0.636. Is an indication that the value of R square should be lies in 0 and 1. This is the model accuracy parameter. The value closer to the 1 indicating that the model is a good model, and the value of R square closer to the 0 is an indication of a poor model. The model can be tested with the help of R square. Our model adjusted R square is 0.636. It means the prediction of job performance is 63.6% depends on the three predictors: the social support, the IQ level, and the motivation. These three variables. These three variables help in predicting the job performance 63.6%. And the remaining 27% prediction in job performance is due to the error. That is an indication of adjusted R square. And how these betas are explained and how the beta naught is explained. Beta naught is indicating the y-intercept. Y-intercept means if the motivation is 0, if the social support is 0, if the intelligence is 0, then we have 18.1 job performance. The value of the job performance would be 18.1 level. It is a level on the Likert scale. And motivation parameter is 0.31, is an indication that if we have a motivational score 1, then there is an increase in the job performance by 0.31. So 1 unit change in motivation will change 0.31 times change in the job performance. Similarly, 1 unit change in social support will give us a 0.16 increase in the job performance. And the 1 level increase in the intelligence will give us a 0.27 increase in the job performance. These are the explanation of model parameters, betas. Finally, I am concluding this presentation. In this presentation, one complete case is implemented in SPSS, in which the job performance of employees are estimated with the help of the 3 predictors. One predictor is motivation of employee, social support, and intelligence. This model is indicating that all the predictors are having a positive slopes or the positive betas. That is an indication that we have a positive correlation with the performance. That's all for this lecture.